So shall I move on to our next talking point? Now, a few of us did watch the Stone Cold podcast with Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
And those of us that did had some problems with it. So, yes, the problem that I had is the same thing with all of Stone Cold's podcasts, really.
He's terrible?
What he does is, he's read a book on hosting a podcast, I think, or conducting interviews. So he'll talk for a few minutes about a subject that they're comfortable discussing with him. Like with Brock Lesnar, he spent an awful long time talking about hunting different kinds of guns. They spent about 10 minutes talking about his favourite brand of glass, of all things. His favourite grill, his favourite cut of deer meat, or whatever.
He's got 4 of them.
Yeah, his favourite car, what kind of tyres he has on it, what kind of engine. That was about half the podcast, making Brock Lesnar comfortable. Okay, you can understand his motivation if he's doing that. But then when it came to the hard-hitting questions, which he was scattering in among all that mundane nonsense, he asks the question, Lesnar would start setting up his answer with a little bit of backstory, and then Austin would immediately jump ahead several years and miss out the meat of the answer. I don't understand.
He's all about the crust.
If they're pushed for time, he should spend less time waffling on about all these pointless issues and get right into the meat. Brock Lesnar should already be comfortable talking to Stone Cold. They should have had a chat before it went on the air if you needed to make him feel at ease.
That said, we did learn that Brock Lesnar is a horrible person who likes his steaks medium well.
But we did learn that Brock Lesnar doesn't like people, which we already knew. All the controversial subject matter, like Brock Lesnar suing the WWE suing Lesnar, was kind of skimmed over. The part a lot of people wanted to hear about, Austin walking out of the company because he didn't want to lose to Lesnar. Brock basically said, I don't care, and they moved straight on from that. Lesnar's illness, which maybe people wanted to hear more about because it's quite interesting, because it's very life-threatening. They didn't dwell on that too much. They skipped over the majority of his UFC career. They didn't really talk at all about the differences between being in WWE and UFC, other than the fact that the UFC negotiate in a more professional manner. And that was it. They didn't elaborate on that too much.
But didn't he say the professional manner was literally, we sat at a table, we put numbers out, and that was it?
They put numbers out, so one side said, I don't think that's fair. Okay, what do you think's fair? Right, we've got it done.
So,
whereas WWE was much more
it was
protracted.
like a contract and way more professional, and you sign things, and yeah.
So we didn't really get anything out of it other than all that really mundane information that we don't care about unless we're into hunting and vehicles.
And glass.
Yes, if you're a glass enthusiast, this was the podcast for you. Austin just can't conduct an interview. He moves the topic along too fast. He's obviously got too many planned discussion topics and just gets through them way too fast before the question's even been answered. It's like he's not listening to the answer coming back to him. He just gives them a certain amount of time to answer it and then moves on, regardless of whether they've actually said what they want.
But why does he have to rush through everything? Why don't they just say, hey, if we want this to be something that people are going to tune into, I don't want to use the term draw, but if we want this to be something that people are going to actually tune in for and listen to, then let them fucking talk. Don't tell them they have to do it in this cramped time frame. I mean, if that's the case, then no wonder he's blitzing through everything without actually having that conversation.
I mean, the network, you're not holding up other programming by having that going on. You can watch whatever you want on the network, and then it's saved forever on there. So why wouldn't you just let them talk for a couple of hours at least? Even adding another hour would have made a huge difference. It just left me feeling like I want to hear Brock Lesnar have an interview with someone who's actually going to let him tell his story and get to the juicy answer at the end of it, rather than just the setup and then being pushed 5 years into the future. Just wasn't a very good watch.
It just seems like every time they have one of these fucking interviews, with Austin, it is always the same fucking procedure of let me set up a scene for you. We're gonna take you back to this point in your life. Tell me about it. And then when they're like, well, yeah, that was all right. We're out of time.